In this video, we're going to be breaking down a Halo map being deleted from ranked. You heard me right. This is unprecedented where a map is actually getting removed from the ranked system, and we need to talk about the implications, what map or different modes could replace it, and so much more. But make sure you check out the GameLeap website right now if you want to climb to Onyx and beyond. The Halo Infinite GameLeap website has everything you need in order to dominate with in-depth strategy guides, map breakdowns, and VOD reviews that are going to showcase the proper decision making to dominate every single aspect of your game. So do yourself a favor and go check it out right now down below. Now, the first big update actually came out of nowhere by the 343 community manager. He said this, quote, "Hey all, we wanted to share an update that we are making to our ranked arena playlist later this morning. We appreciate the steady flow of feedback that you all provide and will continue to make changes where we can base on that input." What is happening? Based on data and community feedback, we will be removing the map and mode pairing of Behemoth Capture the Flag from our ranked playlist for the time being. This change will come into effect this morning via an update in our online services and will not require a download. Why is this happening? Well, we've seen enough data to show us that the map is not performing in ranked as intended. Most of this data revolves around spawning and effective cover around the map. One of the biggest things about this map is it's very wide open compared to every other map, and sometimes you would end up contesting the enemy flag and enemies would spawn within line of sight of you, or you would spawn within line of sight of enemies that would just instantly kill you, and it could be very frustrating. They go on and say, quote, "Spawning on the perimeter of the bases with the direct line of sight of the flag stand, in addition to BR-75 starts, is creating a more frenetic pace than desired. This leaves players feeling that even a well-coordinated team push into the enemy base can fall apart quickly, resulting in flags pulled being much more difficult than it should be. Similarly, players seem to be respawning in places that can often feel unpredictable and therefore frustrating to deal with. This goes for both attacking and defending teams. There also appears to be a lack of viable cover opportunities throughout the map, which is exacerbated when all players are wielding a BR-75. As a result, players often find themselves engaged in firefights with limited options from the outside of the map. Overall, we want to improve the ranked Capture the Flag experience on the map before reintroducing it in these playlists. What happens next? We're going to take some time to address the areas mentioned above and make changes to improve the ranked Behemoth experience. If we are confident that we are able to do so successfully, verify that through rigorous testing, then we will consider adding it back to the ranked experience in the future. Thank you again for playing and providing us with plenty of data and feedback with this. We'll continue to monitor the performance of all of our maps and mode combos in Halo Infinite playlist throughout the life of the game. Now, in response to this on Twitter, someone actually responded to John stating, quote, "Listening to pro players is an L," and John, the community manager, responded stating, quote, "The forum post outlines that this wasn't just because of pro players. That said, listening to pro players is a good thing, and viewing anything as an us versus them situation rarely fosters healthy conversation. I recommend reevaluating this take." And yeah, honestly, this is not just because of pros. A lot of people complained about Behemoth. Sure, there have been pros that have been complaining about this map and mode, but remember, this is not even in the first season of the ranked giant schedule that was dropped. Behemoth and Capture the Flag was not even included, so 343 already knew that this map was probably not the most competitive, or maybe they were a little bit afraid of it being played hyper competitively, and now, especially after community feedback, the writing was on the wall and they pulled the map. Now, I actually really like this change. I didn't hate Behemoth Capture the Flag, but I do know that the map just feels very off at times. There are certain situations where the map just feels actually terrible, and especially when you're up against really great players that aren't going to miss shots in open space. It can feel really frustrating when you spawn and just feel like you have almost no options. I love many of the other maps, like, let's say, Streets, for instance, when you have so much cover and so many ways to, like, move between the high and low ground, behind corners, up and down, that it's really easy to actually get into a bad engagement and then run away, or reposition and challenge from a different angle. And that's amazing, and that gives you so many different options as a player. You're not just freaking trying to fight each other in open space all the goddamn time, which is what Behemoth often feels like, outside of that it being a freaking sniper battle, which is definitely frustrating as well for all the players that are not holding the sniper. Now, the only thing that I don't like about this is the fact that there's nothing to fill its place. I really do think that the ranked modes in general would actually be good for some more variety, especially the new game mode that was part of the Cyber Showdown. I think that would be an amazing ranked game mode in addition to potentially more ranked game modes, and I do think that we need more maps as well. It feels pretty weird to pull a map and not replace it with something else, right? I think if they were gonna pull a map, they should add one, and I understand that 343 is working on a lot of shit right now, so they probably don't have time for that, and they want to release maps on a consistent basis. But it is a little bit frustrating to take a game that already kind of feels bare bones at best and then pull content from that game, right? It makes the game feel even more hollow, which is a little frustrating, but all in all, I consider this a dub. I mean, I remember actually playing ranked when I was first playing Halo Infinite, and I queued into freaking Behemoth 3 times in a row, and it was not fun. I didn't like it at all, but that's just my personal opinion. Let me know your opinion about Behemoth. Did you like or hate the map? Are you glad it's gone? What kind of map do you want to see replace it? I, for one, want to see some remasters of some older maps that worked in competitive Halo. Add them to Halo Infinite, but spruced up. Shouldn't be as hard as developing a map from the ground up. If it ain't broke, don't freaking fix it. You can come up with original maps later. But let me know your opinion, and let me know right now down below. And while you're there, the GameLeap website is the best place. If you want to dominate the ranked ladder, you got to go check out our tons and tons of advanced content and guides. You haven't seen anything like it online, so you just got to go check it out right now down below.